Hello, welcome back to my Facebook page and my YouTube channel, The Anxiety Princess, where we're talking about everything that has to do with mental illness, basically tapping into our emotions in order to determine what could potentially be causing our mental health related illnesses. This is the fourth time I've done this intro in the last 10 minutes. Between the cars that are passing here and the people inside making a noise, I just don't know. I hope the noise isn't too much and you guys can live with it, because I had to shoot this video today. I thought about shooting it today and I realized if I don't do it today, I might just not do it. The weekend gets away from me. Like, I don't know how it's possible, but on Sundays, I wake up with a list this long of all the things I need to do, including prepping meals for the week. So I actually think shooting on Saturdays is going to be my new thing. But let's see how it goes. I don't want to make promises. Let's see how it goes. For those who are new here, welcome and thank you for joining our Mental Health Nation. I really hope you will find what you are looking for here. This is a very tight community that basically is just navigating mental illness and finding ways to actually incorporate it into our daily lives. And just a disclaimer, I am not a doctor, psychologist, psychiatrist, or anybody who has been trained to deal with mental illness. I'm purely someone who was diagnosed with general anxiety disorder with severe panic attacks in March of 2019. So please do not take anything that I say here as the only truth, and do not take anything that I say here as a substitute for everything that you need to do. You still need to go for therapy, you still need to go to the doctor, and most importantly, you still need to educate yourself about mental illness so that you can make decisions that are good for your journey, So all I'm doing is just giving tools and, talking about my experience and where I'm at. I do think I've got a little bit of a handle with regards to my anxiety. Some days, most days, yes, definitely most days, but certain days, that thing, yeah, it does the most to me, like in the last 2 weeks. Okay, so if you see me looking this way, you're new here, you don't know what's happening. We have the pink book here. I'm slowly running out of pages, so we're gonna have a new book in no time. So this is the book that I used to jot down the ideas of what I want to cover in a video so that I don't forget. So if I keep looking this way, just know that I'm just refreshing myself so that I don't forget everything that I want to discuss. So like I said, the last 2 weeks have been emotionally daunting for me, and I think it has been almost like a space where the country was at, following the news that Rick has allegedly taken his life. When I saw that, I just froze. I think for me, it emphasizes the reality of living with depression, that you think all is well, but something just tips you over, those emotions take over, and you cannot take it anymore, and you decide that you want peace, you want to rest, and this is what you would do. So naturally, I started thinking about the fact that this person looks so strong on appearance, but obviously they were dealing with things that nobody knew about. And I think what kind of made me so angry is that social media has been on his head in the last week, following a video he posted with his wife, and people had to say that the wife isn't happy. He looks like he's abusing his wife, and while we may never know if that contributed to him committing suicide, it's just another Patrick Shy continuation where there was social media involved, and a couple of days later the person committed suicide. So I was really angry that day. I was angry because we as society, we have this entitlement of having an opinion in people's lives. Like, okay, so my camera just went off and I don't know why, so I'll probably need to manage the videos. I hope it doesn't show. But basically what I'm saying is, we as society have this this notion and perception that we actually are entitled to have an opinion on people's lives. Just because people are out there in the public eye, we feel as though they owe us everything, and we can say anything and everything that we want to say to them, but forgetting that back at the ranch, these people are human beings like us. And it's just that because of the career they've chosen, it puts them in the spotlight. But I think we need to be kinder. We need to tread lightly. We need to be mindful of people's feelings. But again, condolences to his family. It hit the whole of South Africa really badly. And I think for me, whenever I hear a suicide story, it plays a lot with my emotions, in the sense that, I always wonder, is that my end? Is that what's gonna happen one day when I no longer have the strength to fight my anxiety? When it defeats me, will I take a decision to take my life? You start thinking about those things, and you pray and you pray that, God, whatever you have said for my journey, here I am, I'm accepting, and I trust you to lead me in it. So yeah, that's basically where my head has been in the last 2 weeks. A whole lot of breakdowns with personal things, a whole lot of mental turbulence, but everything I went through in the last 2 weeks, I feel as though it's just always preparation. When I'm going through it, I don't see the future. I don't see the clear picture, because it feels as though everything is shutting down on me, and I can't see a way out. And once I'm on the other side, I'm like, oh wow, is this what it was preparing me for? So yeah, that's basically where I've been. And yeah, I have been quite busy the past couple of weekends, so I haven't shot a video, and I think right now I'm not committing to this, because there's so many other things that I'm doing in the background with regards to prepping for the registration of the NGO. It's a lot, and I'm blabbing so much. And just one more thing before we get into the video for this week is, I had an interview on LinkedIn on Wednesday, and if you would like to watch that video and listen to it, I'll insert a link when I post the video, so that you can actually watch that video as well. I was invited to actually chat. We're chatting all things about my qualification, my current job, my contribution to the mental health industry, and Psycha Top 35 under 35. So if you want to watch that, please do so. Cool. So what are we talking about today? So today we're talking all things about medication. I remember last year sometime I put up a thing on my Instagram where I was saying, does medication make you feel like a zombie? And the overwhelming response of the yeses, it kind of made me realize that people are not really clued up a lot about, when you make a decision to actually take medication, what does it mean, or what's the steps necessary to navigate that journey in order to be in a good state and to actually take your meds and function and things like that. So as I had mentioned in my earlier videos, I was against taking medication myself when I started this journey, because I was reading everything and everybody telling me, medication made them be out of character, made them this, a whole lot of things that I read. And obviously I took that information, all of that information, consumed it, made it my own, and lived that information. And I was looking for anything besides medication to get me out of this state. So obviously I started with therapy. I started with the doctor, where I ruled out anything that was physically wrong with me. And the second step was to actually go for therapy. So therapy helps you unlock and unpack all the emotional struggles and memories that you had suppressed, and it just basically allows you to work through them, to actually see, okay, is this thing, have I put this to bed and I've dealt with this, or did I put it to bed and just said I'll come back and revisit you, and you never went back. So that's basically the two steps. Rule out anything that's medical, and then you discuss the possibility of medication. So for me, obviously at therapy I was equipped with some tools that I needed to fight the thing naturally, and some of those tools was obviously meditating, exercising, breathing techniques and things like that, which helped to a certain degree. Definitely the breathing techniques and things that I was doing while laying in bed, they did help, but things like yoga, I just didn't connect. It's not me. I couldn't connect, and it's actually so hot in this room, you know. I couldn't connect. Okay, maybe not. So I couldn't connect with things like that, and eventually, because I was just so overwhelmed with this thing, I sat down with my then fiance, now husband, and I said, okay, I think I'm gonna go on meds. And obviously, with the meds journey, it was a roller coaster ride of trying different kind of medications until I settled with the ones that I'm on now, which is a class of SSRIs. And basically what I am using is sertraline. So cool. So you know the things that you need to do. Doctor, rule out anything that's physically wrong with you, because anxiety does mimic, it is a symptom of other underlying medical issues. That's the first thing. 2, therapy, unlock all those things, and 3, medication. So you go to your doctor now and you're like, doc, I'm ready to go on meds. What's happening? So they will naturally start with a group that is, you know, for almost like fighting a beginner anxiety, if you want to call it that. So I started with beta blockers, which didn't work, because beta blockers they are to help you not have a heart attack. It's not for purposes of medication. I'm not a doctor though, but basically the ones that I was prescribed, they were to help the irregular heartbeats. And obviously I took those for a couple of days before my sugar levels dropped down so significantly that I had to stop. The second part of the medication I was put on was the benzo group, and under the benzos I was given Xanax. So with Xanax, I couldn't take it, you know, on a daily. I had to take it as and when I was having an attack, you know. And then because I was feeling, it's so hot in here, and because I was feeling so, you know, that I'm taking this thing only when I was still going through things in the day, even though I wasn't having a panic attack. I needed a long-term solution, and that's when we started with sertraline. So I had trial and error of 3 thingies, and then with sertraline, we started on a higher dosage and dropped my dosage, and then I've been on that dosage for a while now. Okay. So what are the things you need to know, and the things that you actually need to have open discussions and conversations with your doctor about is 1, your dosage. So with the dosage, it varies depending on the medication. So like for instance, for sertraline, it goes from as low as 10 milligram up until 200 milligram, if I'm not mistaken, right? So I started on 100 milligram, and I had to take 100 milligram for 2 weeks and monitor how I was feeling, right? And then after 2 weeks, we dropped the dosage to 50, right? So basically my doctor was trying to find the right balance. How did I feel when I was on 100, and how am I feeling when I'm on a 50? I remember on 100, I actually felt more anxious, which, by the way, is a side effect and it's normal. Medication makes you worse before it makes you better, kind of thing. So I realized that at 50, at 100, I had quite a lot of side effects. And obviously 2 weeks on the 100, and then 2 weeks on the 50, and then I went back to the doctor. And she asked me, so which dosage did I feel, heightened, things like that. Obviously, you need to pay attention to how you're feeling at the different stages. So I was like, I want to continue with the 50 and just see how it goes. And then if by the period that the med is supposed to work, that I'm still not feeling well, then we can possibly revisit the topic of actually upping my dosage to 100. I was one of the lucky people that actually 50 was my dosage, right? So dosage is the first thing you discuss with your doctor, right? So it means trial and error in this specific med that they've given you until they find the right dosage. So you'll move between dosages, and then if the dosage doesn't work, then it possibly means that you are not on the right medication, right? Cool. The second thing now you need to consider is that there isn't only one type, I call them classes of medication. There isn't only one type of medication that you get. So it's different classes, and these classes have different medication under them, right? So I will speak with the beta blockers. So beta blocker is a class, right? And under beta blockers, there's different classes. So I was prescribed something called propranolol, something along those lines. And then there's other kind of meds, which I don't know, but I'm only talking about the ones that I know. And then too, there's a class of meds called benzos, right? So under benzos, you get your Xanax. Xanax is actually alprazolam. What is it? Alprazolam. Yeah, it's alprazolam. And then diazepam is also part of that group. So do you get it? So you get your class, and under the class is different kind of medicine. And then your SSRIs, sertraline is under them. So that's basically, it's a class and the different kind of can you see the amount of medication you could actually go through until you find the right medication. So beta blockers didn't work. Benzos have a high level of dependency, so I didn't want to depend on it because it's addictive. And then I needed a long-term solution, which has been sertraline. With sertraline, I can take it as long as I feel fit to take it. I can actually take it as well when I am pregnant. For me, that was a very, very big consideration because at that point, my husband, then fiance, had proposed, and I knew it's in our plans to start a family. But because I didn't want to rush my healing, I wanted to, I didn't want to rush my healing, and I didn't want to waste time for us to plan to have kids. Do you get it? So I needed a solution that's gonna meet both my needs, my well-being and family. So that's when I got into the SRI, and sertraline has been my friend, and it does the Lord's work. It does what needs to be done. So now you're going to your doctor, the dosage didn't work, and then you guys are just fluctuating between these classes of medication. So it's benzos, antidepressant, beta blockers, SSRI, buspirone. It's a lot, guys. So that's the second thing. So it could be that it's not working for you because the dosage is wrong, or you're in the wrong class of medication. Cool. And then the third thing that you need to understand is that medication have side effects, guys. So some of the side effects that I encountered while starting out with my meds was headaches, nausea, dizzy, insomnia, heightened anxiety, um, what else? Yeah, I had a little bit of diarrhea, but it didn't last much, but I was very nauseous. But I think the one thing for me that stuck out that actually was scaring me a bit is how I'd feel so dizzy that I need to go and lie down, and post that dizziness, then the headache comes. And then after the headache comes, I start thinking the worst of scenarios, then my anxiety just spikes out of control, right? So I had the side effects for about 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 to 4 weeks. That's basically how I've had them. And still to this day, I do get the headaches. It's one of the things I get the most. I do get my panic attacks. However, I feel as though they are well managed, and because now I know how to handle an anxiety attack before it comes, I feel as though they're not as intense as they could be, but there are days when they catch me off guard and it's just a mess to get it. So side effects are a normal part of this journey. So certain people, when they start getting the side effects, they think, oh my goodness, the medication is not working. Doctor, I'm stopping this medication immediately. So all medications have side effects. Like even the ones you get over the counter, it has side effects. So all medications do have side effects, but I understand that the side effects from these type of medication, they are a little bit extra and they could scare one. But just because you're getting the side effects doesn't mean that the medication is not working. You need to allow the medication to work its course, which takes me to my next point of what else do you need to consider: the time frame. So what I mean by time frame is, so I was told that if in 4 to 6 weeks I am not feeling any difference after being on sertraline, then we were gonna start looking at other options in terms of the different classes of medication, right? So luckily for me, I started feeling okayish with 3 weeks going on to 4 weeks, right? So there is no way, because our bodies react differently, there is no way you can say after 2 weeks, like, this medication is not working, I am stopping this medication. You need to allow the medication to take its course. It does say in the box, like, if you haven't subsided in 4 to 6 weeks, please consult your GP. And that's the time frame you need to give the medication to work in order to determine whether it's working or not. So time frame. I know a lot of people that start medication, so they start medication and then within a couple of days they're like, it's not for me, it's not working. It's either they having a combination of side effects and they feel worse off. But yeah, what they say, medication will make you feel worse before it makes you feel better, kind of thing. So allow the medication to take time before you conclude that it's actually not working for you. Yes, you may not like how you feel, but it's part of it. Cool. And then the last thing that you need to discuss with the last thing that you need to consider with your doctor is the level of transparency you give each other. So what do I mean by level of transparency? One, you need to tell your doctor all your underlying medical issues that you've had in the past, that you think you might have had, that runs in the family, so that he's fully has a clear picture of your medical history, right? The second thing that you need to tell him, you need to tell him all the medications you are taking, even if it's over-the-counter medication. I have stressed this so many times that when you are on these kind of medication, like for instance, I take my sertraline. So that's the first thing I do when I wake up. So I take it in the morning. So let's say around 8, 9, I take it, right? And then I know my headaches usually come in the morning, but I know between 9 and 10, I'm not going to take any other kind of medication. Then after 10, then I take something for my head. These medications have an an interaction reaction with a lot of medication. So just to be on the safe side, tell your doctor everything, that I'm on contraceptives, I'm on this, I'm on this, I'm on this, so that they don't give you something that has a high rate of interaction with the kind of medication you'll be prescribed. So transparency is key. And transparency being that if your doctor calls you and asks you, is the meds working, and you're like, sharp, it is, and deep down you're like, this thing is not working, then they can't help you. I remember I was at my doctor all the time telling her, this is how I feel, this is how I feel. I needed her to fully understand that I'm vested in the process. So don't leave it up to your doctor to decide what is working and what is not working. This is you, this is your body. So basically the whole point of this video is I'm saying that you might be feeling like a zombie because your dosage is not right, you're not on the right group of meds, you're having interactions, reactions, the side effects is just scaring you, or you're not allowing the medication to run its full course, its full time frame, where then after that time frame you can go to your doctor and tell them you need to start looking for other options. So that's why the medication in no way is it's supposed to make you feel like a zombie, because mental illness is a chemical imbalance in your head. Your head is not producing enough hormones that allows you to process emotions, basically. So it's a chemical imbalance that has been triggered by a psychological event. Therefore, in order for you to fix hormones, you need to take medication. Do you get it? So if you guys believe in female hormones and things like that, and they need to be fixed by taking kind of meds, why don't you believe that mental illness needs the same course of action? Do you get me? So that's basically the video today. And I hope you guys are really having these transparent conversations with your doctors, because if you don't, it's just a matter of you will stop taking any kind of medication, and then you try to fight this thing naturally, and then it takes toll on you, and you just feeling at your last, and you just like, I don't even know what to do anymore. So I hope this video will kind of help you to think that what could it be that is not working fine. And I'm happy for you to take this video to your doctor and say to your doctor, to make I said, it's either let's consider the dosage, let's consider they need to walk through those options with you. You are paying them at the end of the day, you know. But guys, I hope you'll have a beautiful Saturday. I'll upload this video in a sec, because I feel so guilty that I haven't uploaded a video in a month. No, in 3 weeks. But please guys, do take care of yourself, and remember, in this time when we are feeling so emotionally clogged, please reach out to people that can actually help you to eliminate some of that can help you to process the emotional roller coaster you're going through. And as always, as I say, my DMs, my inbox is always open to chat. And if I can't, I do say that I'm also having an emotional roller coaster. I'll get back to you. But I hope you'll have a beautiful Saturday. Mwah! Love you all. Bye.